Ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed an honor and a pleasure for me to stand before you thanks to the TIIT TEDx University talk. It's always nice to meet bright and dynamic minds like you all. I'm sure that you have heard the story of David, and it's a biblical story of David and Goliath. David was a young boy and Goliath was a 9 feet tall giant of a soldier who was known for his merciless attitude that sent down shivers in the spine of his adversary. They got into a mortal combat. When the onlookers saw these two, they said, how can this small young boy stand in front of Goliath for even 30 seconds? But, as you all know the story, Goliath was killed by David with a slingshot. Now, how did this happen? With this kind of adverse asymmetry of size, strength, and capability, David was able to neutralize Goliath. It is because of the way you perceive things. When the onlookers saw both the combatants, they only saw the perception of asymmetry in terms of size. But when David saw it, he saw the size and he felt Goliath was too big to be missed and he was a big target. So, David also saw that the target was huge, more powerful, and perhaps he would have got unsettled for some time. But then his internal instincts of positivity, possibilities, and action orientation kicked in, and rest is history. You all would have seen in the day-to-day life, you meet people who keep on whining about small things in life, they keep on complaining, they are critical about small things in life, as if all the problems of the world have befallen them. They are the people with the typical negative mindset. Then there are people who are always smiling, they walk tall, they enter a room and people look up to them, they are always very happy, approachable, they come up with good solutions, they never get problems to the table, they are socially very oriented, adaptive. These are the people with positive mindset. Now, whether it is a positive mindset or a negative mindset, one boils down to only one thing, that is, it's a state of mind. And whatever is a state of mind can be changed. And one of the ways we could change the state of mind is by developing self-confidence. What is self-confidence? Self-confidence is basically your own self-assurance of one's judgment, abilities, and power. It is an elixir of life. It is a catalyst that creates a conducive environment within you to have a dream and convert a dream into ambition and ambition into reality. There is a subtle connection between all three of them. Everyone must have a dream, because if you don't have a dream or an ambition, you're like a rudderless boat in a stormy sea, don't know what to do. So one must dream, and I'm sure all must dream. And once the dream is garnished with the aspect of positivity, possibility, and action orientation, it turns into ambition. And ambition, when given a fillip by having self-confidence and an ability for you to continue in the same path and strive for perfection, you come to a result which you get. So this is the subtle connection between all three of them. When I was a young boy, I had a dream to become a naval officer, to wear a sparkling white uniform, to sail the high seas, and to maybe command a naval warship. Well, with steadfast work, I was able to convert this dream into an ambition, and from ambition, over a period of time, I worked very hard to convert this ambition into result. And in 1986, I became a naval officer. My journey of 38 years in service in uniform started from the National Defence Academy, a cradle of leadership. Here I learned, picked up the traits of leadership, skills, and also motivation and how to develop self-confidence. And these, over a period of my service life, I kept on enhancing and improving, and as a result of which I was able to overcome all the adverse situations which not only me but everybody faces in life. So today I stand in front of you to tell a story about those elite warriors of India, the Marine Commandos. The Marine Commandos are the best in business, and they serve the country with pride. And they live with the credo of the few, the fearless. The Marine Commando Force is the special operational element of the Indian Navy. And since their inception in 1987, they have been able to spearhead all the operations of Navy wherever they were deployed, be it peacetime or be it conflict situation. Right from fighting in Sri Lanka to Jammu and Kashmir, to any other disturbed area in our country, to giving aid to civil power, and also to lift, evacuate people, Indians who are actually stuck in foreign countries by means of operations other than war, and also to provide succor to the people who get affected by calamities. The Marine Commandos are always spearheading these kind of operations. This is their story, this is also my story. Now, I also wanted to become a Marine Commando, which was my ambition when I joined the Navy. Knowing fully well that it's not an easy thing, it is perhaps one of the toughest training in the world, because being a four-dimensional force, from air, we actually do insertion by air, that we fight on the land, we do insertion by sea and fight on the sea, and we also do undersea operations. So obviously with this kind of dimension of force which you have, the training levels are also have to be accordingly matched. And Marine Commandos training is perhaps one of the best and the toughest in our country and perhaps in the world also. So through my experience of undergoing this Marine Commando training, I would like to associate the aspect of how to develop self-confidence and how I developed it so that I was able to go through this very grueling and physically demanding course. So, the day I joined the training unit, our instructors were again very, very established and very professional and die-hard Marine Commandos who have taken part in so many operations. They received us, they welcomed us, they gave us pep talks, moral talks, they made us very comfortable. But we knew that it was like the lull before the storm. And sure enough, the very next day, this is what happened to us. You can see my photograph on the left. They caught us, they tonsured our head, they gave us the uniform, which was the training uniform, and thereafter they put us through intense physical training of 40 to 16 hours, which included 10 to 12 kilometers run on the beach, countless number of push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, climbing the rope, carrying the boat and running, and what-not. And we soon realized that it is not it's not an easy walk in the park. And seeing this, there are a lot of people who sort of gave up. And our own instructors, who the other day were being so friendly with us and trying to motivate us, became our biggest nemesis. They pounced on us like sharks in a feeding frenzy. Later on we realized why they're doing it. They're actually trying to divide the wheat from the chaff, which always happens in this kind of courses. And thereafter, as the course went by, days went by, the degree of difficulty only increased. The timings reduced. 10 kilometers became 20 kilometers. 100 push-ups became 500 push-ups. And all those kind of stuff. That they included diving, they included swimming long distance, they included combat, hand-to-hand combat, karate. I mean, the days you start at 5:30 in the morning and you should get over at around 10:30, 11 at night. This was the back-breaking schedule which we were following. So this got me to thinking as to why am I doing this? The Indian Navy had many more better opportunities for a person like me to be absorbed in. But why should I subject myself to this kind of cruelty or this kind of torture? And slowly these aspects started, being absorbed by me, and mentally I felt that, I should quit. I should leave this course. And this is a situation, I came to a breaking point where I thought, I must leave this course. It's not meant for me. Then I thought, I started talking to me once again. And I said, look, I have done 3 years of fantastic training in the National Defence Academy. I have also done a clearance diving and marine course and also a short commander post with the Army Commandos in Belgaum. And I've done well in these courses. I belong to a family which is known as these very, very fine combatants in India, the hills of Rawat. My grandfather had fought the First World War. My paternal grandfather had fought the Second World War. My whole family is in the armed forces. My father was in the Navy. My elder brother was serving in the army, so was my younger brother. And so I have no reasons to quit. I should pass on regardless and I should continue doing this course. And that's how that positive self-talks which I had was the reason why I got the self-confidence to progress ahead with the course. Now, there was another important factor as to why I still continued, because I had visualized. I visualized myself to be a lean, mean fighting machine, a combat soldier who could be relied upon. And visualization is a very funny thing. It's a technique by which you actually make a mental picture of what you want to achieve in life. And once that mental picture is made, your mind automatically creates situations, orient yourself to achieving that goal. It's like somebody has said, अगर किसी चीज को शिद्दत से चाहो तो सारी कायनात तुम्हें उस चीज से मिलाने में एकजुट हो जाती है। चारों नंबर डायलॉग है, but that's how it is. And then as days went by, the degree of difficulty further kept on increasing, and this is called the mud crawl, which is very, very back-breaking. This is actually, they put you next to the seashore, there is a lot of mud, they put you in so much of depth in the mud and you have to crawl, and this doesn't happen as one singular event. Before this event and after this event, there are a lot of other activities keep on happening. So you can imagine, it's a very pleasant sight when you see it now, but it's not that pleasant when you do it. And so that's how the things went on. And then this is the positive self-talk I was talking about. If you don't have positive self-talks, then probably the chances of you to give up become that much more easy. And I'm sure that all the guests who have come here, eminent personalities who have done fantastic things in life, everybody, I'm sure, would have come to a situation where they would have been thinking of giving up. But the positive self-talk would have enhanced their self-confidence, and they have achieved what they have achieved. Now, a lot of people at this point in time in my course actually quit because they could not take the strain. And then we went to the next phase, which is called the diving phase and bottom entry phase. And one of the aspects of this phase is called the drown proofing test. Now, one fine day the instructors took us to the swimming pool. They tied our hands like this behind and our legs from the knee and on the ankles. They tied us and they told us to jump into the swimming pool, which is 6 meters deep, and we were supposed to float for 5 minutes. Now I said, are you kidding me? I've never done this. Not only me, nobody does this kind of silly things, because it is short drowning. But then the instructors gave a quick demonstration, and then we could realize, yeah, it is possible for us to do something. And then what we were doing actually, we just jumped into the water and we took a deep breath and we went down, sank to the bottom, kicked the bottom, came up, then gulped water, and that's called bobbing. So we were bobbing for about 5 minutes, which was a test requirement. So after this ordeal was over, then they told us to swim 50 meters of the pool, and not only one length, 4 or 5 lengths. Now again, this is something which is, unique, but we were able to do it. Those people who had a grit and determination and self-confidence, they were able to do it. And after we completed this event, then they opened our legs, they untied us, and then they told us to go down to 6 meters with a breath hold, and then go down, and they had put a rope there. We had to make some complicated knots there. And there were a couple of things strewn in the bottom of the swimming pool. We're supposed to pick it up and then come up to the surface. Now, while doing so, our instructors were wearing the scuba diving sets, and they were actually closely monitoring us inside. And what they used to do is that when you are about to go up, because you are now running short of breath, you try to go up, they will quietly catch your leg and pull you down. Now, they were trying to create panic for us. And it's not a very easy feeling when you are short of breath and you're going up and you really want to breathe and somebody is not allowing you to breathe and pulling you down. So that was the nearest I had a feeling of drowning. This actually later on they realized the instructors did it purposely. They were taking all precautions to ensure the safety. But here they were seeing that by creating a panic, whether a person behaves in a calm manner or panics, because this is what can lead to either drowning or safety. So this is, and more than that, what this taught us was that the instructors and the training schedule was taking us out of the comfort zone, making us do difficult things in life. Because it is very important for you to do things outside the comfort zone. Because it is said that everything which is good and all good opportunities are outside the comfort zone. So, if you feel that you have to achieve something in life, then bash on regardless, go out of the comfort zone, come what may, face all adversities in whatever, with grit and stamina and determination you have, and you should be able to achieve things. Now, when this phase was over, we were happy, so about 4.5 months of the course had gone by. Then came the dreaded Hell Week. Now, Hell Week, as the name suggests, is taking you to hell. So it's 96 hours of non-stop physical activity without a wink of sleep. All they do is give you food 3 times in a day. The event actually happens on a beach. Everybody is in the beach, and for the next 4 days, that beach becomes a house. And you're not just standing on the beach and like in Goa beach and all having some beer. No. You're actually doing back-to-back physical activity. You're rolling in the beach, you're swimming on the beach, you're taking those incredible crowds running on the beach, 6 of them per boat. You're doing log PT, the huge 50-kilo logs you lift up and run, and there is competition happening. Then there are some singing going on, and thereafter some mud walking going on. Then there are some runs going on, running up the hill nearby, and then there is battle obstacle course. You do that, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. The battery starts draining. It's an ultimate test of human endurance and physical fitness levels. But why were we able to do this? We were able to overcome this, and our instructors, by the way, were trying to help us to regain our conscience, help us to ensure that there is safety, at the same time we don't give up so easily. And it really helped us. 2 reasons which I can find what actually helped us. Number one, by the time we came to this Hell Week, which is not hell, it was beyond hell, we had actually achieved so many small victories